My name is Elwyn Song, Princess of the Elven Kin. My mother died young. I was raised to live for my people. Our kingdom fell. Human cavalry shattered our defenses. To save my people, I agreed to marry a human noble.
His name is Liam Winster, the useless second son of a duke. He is frail and quiet, known as the most useless man in the Empire.
When the carriage arrived, I stepped down and saw him. Pale, thin, like a strong wind could blow him over.
I'm Liam.
This is my husband? A weakling who can barely stand?
This is the husband humans chose for me? A weakler?
His expression didn't shift. His eyes were calm as the sea before a storm.
Elves take the lowest seat in this house. At the welcome feast, his mother deliberately seated me at the very end of the table.
Liam sat in the farthest corner, quieter than the servants. He glanced at me now and then, no pity, only a calm depth.
I have no choice. But when the chance comes, I'll kill him and escape. Princess, do you really have to marry him?
Soft footsteps paused outside. A cup of hot tea was set on the threshold. 2 soft knocks, then the steps faded away.
Lily, princess, he left tea for you. Pour it out. It's warm. I said nothing, but I remembered. The man everyone called useless had brought me tea after all the humiliation. 3 days before the wedding, I pored over ancient elven texts, searching for hope. Then I found the page about the war god.
Eris, the war god, sealed the Abysman demon with the starfall stored. Golden eyes, power from the stars, reborn every 10,000 years.
The illustration's posture reminded me of Liam. Impossible. I closed the book, my heart racing. That useless man? The war god? I told myself to stop being foolish. The war god was a myth, not a sickly man who could barely lift a blade.
That night I dreamed. I stood on a battlefield of fire and blood. A man in golden armor walked towards me, his eyes glowing gold.
Elwyn, I've come back.
I woke with my pillow wet with tears.
A toast to my brother Liam. What an honor for our house.
The night before the wedding, the nobles held a feast just to mock us.
Where's your elven wedding ring? A pair of noblers?
My face went cold. My fists clenched under the table. I bit my tongue.
Then Liam stood. The hall fell silent. Every eye turned to him.
My wife doesn't owe anyone a look at her ring. Our marriage doesn't need your blessing.
He took my hand. His palm was cool but steady. He led me out of the hall.
I'm sorry. I should have gotten you out of there sooner.
Why did you do that?
You don't deserve to be humiliated. You're a princess, not a slave.
I'm used to it.
You shouldn't be.
The wedding day arrived. No flowers, no music, no guests. Just lawyers, a priest, and a dozing servant in the corner.
I wore a dusty old wedding dress from storage, smelling of mothballs. He stood across from me in a faded formal coat.
I'm willing.
I'm willing.
Liam Winster, do you take Elwyn Starzang?
I do.
Elwyn Starzang, do you take Liam Winster?
I do. When we exchanged rings, my hands shook with anger. He slid the ring on slowly, gently, like handling something fragile.
Elwyn, I know you don't want this, but I will keep you safe.
You? Protect me?
You can barely protect yourself.
I set the ring on the table. He bowed his head, picked it up, slipped it in his pocket. No anger, no disappointment, just quiet.
Married life was worse. His mother made me eat with servants. The Duke ignored me, and Cedric stared me up and down.
Lonely princess? That useless brother won't touch you, will he?
One day, a drunk Cedric cornered me in the hallway. He reached for my face.
You will not take her. Not while I'm breathing.
You think you can stop me, boy?
I'd rather die than let you hurt her.
Cedric, she is my wife. Leave. Now. Cedric laughed, then his smile faded. He was suddenly afraid, for no reason.
Whatever.
He turned and stormed off.
Are you all right?
Liam turned to face me.
Leave me be. It's for the best.
Elwyn, don't go.
I couldn't sleep that night. I tossed and turned, replaying the image of Liam standing between me and Cedrin. Lily, if a man is truly useless, why would he step in front of someone else to protect them? Maybe he's not useless. Maybe he's just asleep, like a hibernating bear, waiting for spring. I lay silent for a long time, then closed my eyes. I dreamed of the golden-armored man again. This time, I saw his face clearly.
It was Liam. He charged across the battlefield, his cape snapping. His eyes were gold, bright as the sun.
I woke up with wet cheeks. Not from fear, from a quiet, aching sadness. A month later, the Empire held a grand slave auction. Dozens of my people were for sale. I was forced to attend.
Recognize anyone, princess? Buy one for a servant?
I said nothing. My nails dug into my palms. Next came an elderly elf. White hair, a scar through one ear. I knew him. My old teacher, who taught me Elven script and herb lore.
Starting bid, 300 gold! 350! 400! 400!
1,000.
I turned. It was Liam, sitting in the corner, holding up a bidding paddle. I stared, stunned. His yearly allowance was only 100 gold.
You're free. The old man stared at him, tears spilling from his eyes. For the first time I knew, this man was not useless.
The auction dragged on. The air grew heavier. The nobles grew bored and began looking for entertainment.
This auction is dull! Let the elven princess dance for us! Yes, yes, make her dance! Put on a show!
Go on, princess. Dance for us. Or do you think we aren't worthy?
Tears slit down my cheeks. I was a princess, now mocked like a performer. I wanted to fight back, but I couldn't. My people were still in human hands. I couldn't risk them.
Dance. A cold voice cut through the noise from the back of the room. Just one word. The hall went dead silent.
I whipped my head around. Liam was standing. Everyone thought he was joining in the humiliation, but he wasn't looking at me.
About time you grew a spine, little brother.
Laughter rippled through the crowd. Everyone thought he was joking. No one took the sickly Winton boy seriously. Yet,
I said, anyone who tells her to dance will dance for me.
The Winston weakling is threatening us? How cute.
Liam walked down from the box, step by steady step. Nothing like the sickly man everyone knew.
He stepped onto the stage, poured 1,000 gold onto the desk. That's his ransom. A few skocks still rang out. Then his eyes turned to melting gold. Golden marks crawled up his skin. Every candle flared bright gold.
His voice tolled like an ancient bell. The whole hall fell dead silent. Not a single person dared to breathe. I am Liam Winstell, and I am Ares, the god of war. Everyone froze. Goblets shattered on the floor. Cedric collapsed into his chair, his face white as bone. I stared unblinking at the man on the stage.
Golden light flooded the hall like a tide. Every iron cage swung open. The elven slaves fell to their knees, not in fear, but in awe.
The one who saved the world 10,000 years ago. He raised his hand, and the starfall sword materialized from thin air. You wanted her to dance.
I didn't. It wasn't me.
He pointed the blade at the noble who'd mocked me. The man fell scrambling backward. From this day forward, the elven people are no longer property. Whoever harms them makes an enemy of the war god. His voice boomed through the hall. No one dared speak. Elwyn, I told you I would keep you safe.
He turned to me, his golden eyes soft.
The man I'd called useless was the god of war.
After the auction, Liam took us to a cottage in the Starwood Forest. The divine marks faded. He looked like the sickly Liam again.
What are you staring at?
You. You're the war god. The one who saved the world 10,000 years ago.
I don't remember it all. Just fragments. Battlefields, the sword, and someone. A woman, an elf. She had green eyes. Just like you.
My hand shook, porridge nearly sloshing over. I thought of the old text. He is reborn every 10,000 years, waiting for his elven princess. That princess was my past life.
Why did you seal away your power?
Maybe 'cause losing someone hurts too much.
He stared out at the forest, thinking for a long time.
He didn't remember everything, but his heart remembered her. And I knew I would never Vermeusel again. News spread across the continent. The emperor flew into a rage, and a spark of rebellion ignited among the Elshan people. Princess, we need the war god. Only he can lead us against the empire.
He doesn't remember. His memories are sealed.
I watched him chopping wood in the yard. No divine power, just ordinary strength. But his back made me feel safe.
Sometimes war doesn't wait for us to choose. It comes for us whether we want it or not. He was right, and that very night, the news came.
That night, a carrier pigeon arrived with a letter. My father had been moved to a deep imperial prison. He would be executed in 3 days. My hands shook.
I'll go.
No, it's too dangerous.
He's waiting for you. I won't let you lose your father.
On the road, we were ambushed by assassins. Not humans, elves, traitors who'd side with the Empire. Blood-red eyes, moving like shadows.
Don't move. Narrator. Blades flashed in the dark. Liam didn't draw a sword. He dodged, ducked, struck with his elbow, and in 3 moves, all 3 assassins lay dead.
How did you do that?
My body remembers. They know how to fight better than I do.
I stared at the bodies, my face pale. They were my people. I never thought my own kin would turn on each other.
They betrayed your father. Don't grieve for them. Come on. We have to reach the prison before dawn.
I took his hand. It was warm, just that he'd left that tea outside my door. This time, I didn't let go.
At dawn, we reached the prison. It sat on a lonely island, surrounded by raging rivers and sheer cliffs. An entire imperial legion stood guard.
Wait here for me.
You're going down there alone? 3,000 soldiers, and you're going alone!
Not 3,000. 3,001. You forgot me.
He stepped off the cliff. He landed in the center of the camp, the ground splitting open. It wasn't a battle, it was a rout. He moved like golden lightning, knocking everyone unconscious.
I ran to the third cell. The iron lock held fast, my hands shaking too hard.
Stand back.
He squeezed the lock, and it melted like ice in fire. The door swung open. There he sat, white-haired, lined with age, but his emerald eyes still burned bright, just like mine.
After rescuing Father, we went to the oldest sacred ground of the elves, the heart of the Starwood Forest. It was where the War God signed his covenant with us 10,000 years ago.
My Lord War God, do you truly mean to lead us against the Empire? Not fight back. Free them. Your people have been enslaved for too long. He drove the Starfall sword into the ground. Starlight rippled out. Golden saplings burst from the earth, growing into towering trees of light in seconds. From their canopies hung not fruit, but armor and weapons. Father fell to his knees. By the sacred stars, the elven people will follow you, to the death.
Elwyn, Liam, I used to look down on you. I called you useless.
It's all right. If I hadn't been the useless second son, I never would have married you.
I stared, then felt my cheeks grow warm. The god of war was flirting with me. For the first time, my heart raced not with fear, but something far warmer.
Have you lost your mind? 100 against 5,000? It's not a battle. It's a capitation strike. Take out the commanders, and the rest will surrender. I followed him into the market. He stood on the platform and spoke to every guard. I am Ares, the god of war. Lay down your weapons, and you will live. Refuse, and you will die. 5,000 men stared back. Some lowered their weapons. More raised their bows. Liam closed his eyes. When he opened them, they were gold. Blinding light burst from him. The whole market shook. The ground split. Water geysed skyward. Flames burned in midair. Wind howled through the streets.
Every guard fell to their knees, not out of fear, but awe. 10,000 elven slaves were freed. They knelt before him and called him their savior.
I stood in the crowd watching him. My heart raced, not with reverence, with something far warmer. I was falling for him.
If he doesn't die,
When news reached the capital, the Emperor flew into a rage. Meanwhile, our rebellion grew stronger by the day. Liam became a symbol of hope.
You're just like your mother.
My mother?
She was also an elven princess, and the war god's beloved.
10,000 years ago, your past life was his love. She died on the battlefield, and that's why he sealed himself away.
I stared at my feet. Would he lose me again in this life?
What about this life? Will he lose me again?
No. Because in this life, you're not a princess hiding behind him. You're a warrior standing at his side.
The stars have spoken. The path is written in light and shadow.
I won't let him lose me again.
The map is not just a guide, it's a key. The red markers, they are not destinations but seals. And if my calculations are correct, one of them is about to break.
You mean now?
Very soon.
Not 50,000. There are 200,000 more elves imprisoned across the Empire. Free them, and we have 250,000.
How? We can't punch through.
We don't punch in. We let them break themselves out. The youths in those prisons don't lack will. They lack weapons and a leader.
You'll sneak in with a shard of the Starfall sword. It holds my power. It can break any lock. Only you can do this.
Me? My hands shook. This was the first time I'd been given a mission of my own. Not as the war god's wife. As Elwyn's star song. I'll go.
Come back to me.
You too. He squeezed my hand. His eyes were full of worry, but also trust.
With the shard hidden on me, I snuck into the largest elven prison. I disguised myself as a peace bride and fooled the guards. 3,000 elves huddled inside, gaunt and hollow-eyed.
The shard glowed with faint golden light, cutting through the dark.
I am Elwyn Starsong, princess of the elven people. Eris the war god has returned. He sent me to bring you home.
Princess, is it true the war god is back?
It's true. He won't save you. You will save yourselves. I drove the shard into the lock. It shattered.
3,000 elves, like a sleeping giant, finally woke. They poured out seized weapons, burned imperial banners. By dawn, 3,000 had become 30,000.
The storm comes, but they return. They have crossed the great sea.
At last. After all this time, you're finally here.
The drums of war have sounded. The hour of reckoning is upon us. We stand not for glory, but for the dawn that must come.
Soldiers, I am not a god. I am just a man who once gave up. But in this life, I will not give up again. You know, once you called me a worthless nobody. Now you stand beside me, ready to face 500,000 soldiers. From outcast to hero, their bond was forged in fire. I don't stand here because I am strong. I stand here because she makes me want to be strong.
Today we do not fight for a god, not for elves, not for orders. We fight for the people you love, for your families, for your homes. Charge!
Golden sword light split the sky. I drew my bow, the starfall shard glowing against the string. 250,000 soldiers surged forward like a tide.
The battle raged for 3 days and 3 nights. On day 1, Liam charged alone and cut down 3 imperial generals. His golden marks blazed like a sun across the battlefield.
On day 2, I led the elven archers on the flank. Our precise volleys held back the advance. Every arrow glowed gold and pierced straight through heavy armor. My arms bruised purple, but I didn't stop.
Father attacked from the other side. Elfin warriors shouting the war god's name as they drove like a blade into the imperial flank. On day 3, the emperor himself entered the fray. He rode a dragon strengthened by dark magic, wielding a black spear forged from Abysnan demon bones.
Ares, 10,000 years ago you killed the Abysnit demon. Today I will kill you with its bones.
The dragon dove. Black spear aimed straight for Liam. Liam raised the starfall sword to block. Gold and black collided with a deafening roar. The ground split open, soldiers thrown aside by the shock wave. From across the field, I saw Liam stagger. The demon spear had grazed his shoulder, his golden marks dimming. The dragon's tail slammed into him, sending him flying into a tree.
I tried to run to him, but a wall of soldiers blocked my path. I shot my last arrow, used my bow to club a soldier down, but more kept coming.
The emperor landed before Liam. He raised the spear, aiming straight for his heart. War god? Overrated. Goodbye, Ares.
I don't know how I got there. My legs ran, my hand reached out. I closed my hand around the black spear tip. Dark energy burned through my palm, searing skin and bone, but I didn't let go. You just hit him.
He looked at me, his eyes flooded with gold, not soft gold, but blazing, furious gold. Light exploded from him like nothing before.
He stood, grabbed the spear with one hand, and slammed his fist into the dragon's jaw.
The emperor fell. Liam caught him by the throat. You hurt her, he said.
Surrender. Next time, I won't stop.
His hand froze. Then he let go.
Liam! Don't kill him! Killing him won't end the war! Make him surrender!
The emperor surrendered. The war was over. 500,000 soldiers laid down their arms. We took no prisoners, put them to work rebuilding what was destroyed.
Father reclaimed the elven palace and took his throne again. I was named guardian of the elven kin, but my right hand was broken. The starfall spard was fused to my bone forever.
Does it hurt?
No.
You're lying. He knew. He always knew now.
You've learned to read my face now?
I've learned a lot of things. He took my left hand in his. The sunset stretched our shadows long across the ground.
Liam, 10,000 years ago, you lost her. In this life, you won't lose me.
I don't ever want to lose anyone again.
After the war, I didn't stay in the palace. I went back to Liam. We lived in the small cottage in the Starwood Forest, the one they'd built 10,000 years ago.
Do you remember this place?
No. But my hands do. These are your height marks from when you were little.
I leaned in to look. There they were, mark after mark, labeled in ancient Elven script. The top one read, Elwyn, age 16. They were from my past life.
Was she happy?
He was quiet for a moment. His voice was soft, like he was speaking to a memory. She was. Until the war came.
Then there will be no more wars in this life. We'll live here, peacefully.
All right.
He looked at me and smiled. For the first time in 10,000 years, he was home. And I was home with him. No wars, no duties, just us.
Some things are worth growing with one's own hands. To watch them bloom is to remember that even in the quietest places, magic finds a way to take root. Delicious. Thank you.
This is rock hard. You said it was soft.
Everything you make is delicious. It's beautiful. Like it's always been there waiting for us.
Maybe it's not the stars that are eternal, but this moment. 10,000 years ago, did you look at the stars like this too?
No. But I told you then that the stars are the eyes of our ancestors, watching over us.
Is this real?
Always. No matter what.
6 months later, I found out I was pregnant. News spread across the continent. Elven elders gathered to celebrate. The human empire sent envoys with gifts and a permanent peace treaty.
Liam stood by the door staring at the gifts, quiet for a very long time. What is it? I walked over to him. He looked lost, like he was back 10,000 years ago.
10,000 years ago, I stood right here waiting for our child to be born. Then the war came. They never got to be born. His voice was so quiet I almost didn't hear it.
In this life, the war is over. Our baby will be born safe and smound. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I laced my fingers through his. I meant every word.
I dreamed of you. You were holding a baby girl. Her eyes were gold. What was her name?
Starla.
You said her name was Starla.
All right.
Starla it is.
The day Starly was born, the entire Starwood Forest lit up. Every star blossom bloomed at once, their blue petals glowing soft and bright in the moonlight. The elders called it a 1,000-year omen. I held our daughter and stared. Her skin was soft and wrinkled, but her eyes were bright gold, just like Liam's. Perfect and tiny, and ours.
Starla looked at him and smiled. No teeth, but sweet. Hello, little one. I'm your father. His hands were shaking. He'd waited 10,000 years for this.
Liam, thank you. Thank you for not dying 10,000 years ago. Thank you for being reborn into this life. Thank you for marrying me.
Thank you, too. And thank you for taking that arrow from me 10,000 years ago. Thank you for calling me useless in this life. If you hadn't, I might never have remembered who I was.
I laughed, then cried. Not from sadness, from pure, overwhelming happiness. After 10,000 years, we finally had our family.
When Starla was 3 months old, Liam received a letter. No signature, just the crest of Ares, the token he'd given his personal guard 10,000 years ago.
He opened it, and his face fell.
What is it?
The abyssal demon. It didn't die. Its shattered soul has woken after 10,000 years.
My blood ran cold. The
the abyssal demon, the monster that nearly destroyed the world. Liam had killed its body, but not its soul. 10,000 years had weakened the seal.
It's coming for the whole world. It hates this world. Hates me. Hates every living thing. We seal it again, before it fully wakes.
This time I'm going with you.
No, it's too dangerous.
10,000 years ago, you went alone. You won, but you lost me. This time, we go together. If we lose together. He stared at me for a very long time.
All right.
We would face it together. No more being apart. No more losing each other.
I left Darle in my father's care, and we set off for the abyssal demon's prison. We traveled for 7 days and 7 nights across the frozen northern waste. The seal lay at the far northern edge of the continent, buried under 10,000 years of ice and snow. No people, no life, only howling wind and endless dark.
The demon's seal is down there. I can feel it. It's fighting. The seal will break completely in a month.
Then let's go down.
Don't let go.
He held out his hand. I laced my fingers through his. I would never let go again. Not in this life.
We jumped. Darkness swallowed us whole. But as long as we held on to each other, we weren't afraid. Whatever came next, we would face it together.
On the 8th day, we reached the seal's entrance. A bottomless chasm stretching from the surface down to the core of the world. Deep beneath the earth lay a vast cavern, walls carved with ancient sealing runes, most worn away. In the center floated a mass of black smoke, the shattered soul of the Abyspin demon.
Narrator, it sensed us. The smoke rolled and took a vague human shape. No face, only 2 burning blood-red eyes.
Ares, you have come.
I've come to seal you.
You cannot seal me. You could not kill me 10,000 years ago, and you cannot today.
Countless black tentacles of smoke surged toward us like a tidal wave. Liam raised the Starfall sword, and golden light bloomed into a shield. The tentacles slammed into it, hissing and burning. His shield held, but I could see it trembling.
Elwyn, shoot its eyes!
I drew my bow to full draw. The shard glowed, forming a golden arrow. I aimed for one blood-red eye and let fly. The arrow sliced through the dark and buried itself in its target.
The smoke convulsed, a shrill scream tearing through the cavern. The walls shook, rubble raining down.
I won't just wound you. I will kill you.
The demon flew into a rage. Black tentacles flooded the cavern. Liam's golden shield trembled. Cracks appeared on his face, not in his skin, but in his soul.
Liam! You're lying!
That face you make, I know it now.
He smiled in the dark, surrounded by tentacles. He smiled.
Because I want you to remember me smiling. Elwyn, 10,000 years ago you took an arrow from me. This time, I'll take everything for you.
No!
He pushed me out of the shield. Golden light wrapped around me and carried me upward, toward the cave entrance. I screamed his name, but I couldn't break free. Liam echoing, take care of Star. Tell her daddy loves her.
His voice echoed up from below. My heart felt like it was tearing apart.
Golden light exploded in the dark like a new sun. Every tentacle burned to ash. The demon's soul screamed, twisted, and dissolved. Then everything fell silent and dark.
I woke up in a bed in the Elven Palace. Starlight streamed through the window, star blossom glowed below. A small, soft hand was holding mine. Starla.
Mommy, you're awake.
Where's Daddy?
Daddy, he didn't come back.
Father walked in and sat on the edge of the bed.
We found you in the cavern. Liam sealed the demon with his own soul. His body. It faded away.
Is he still alive?
His soul remains, but it's very weak. Maybe one day he'll come back. Maybe he never will.
I sat up and pulled Starla into my arms. He'll come back. He promised he wouldn't lose me in this life. My voice shook, but I meant it. I walked to the window and stared up at the stars. A star blossom petal drifted up, spun in front of me, then floated north, toward the seal. I smiled. You're here. You've always been here. Narrator. Rebuilding of the kingdom continued, but I didn't stay.
I left the throne to my father and took Stara back to the cottage in the Starwood forest. Every day I tended the garden, taught Starly the names of the stars, and carved her height marks into the doorframe. I didn't cry, didn't complain, didn't beg. I just waited. When spring came, the star blossom bloomed. We sat among the flowers and watched the night sky.
Mommy, look! That star is so bright!
One star burned brighter than all the rest. Not white, gold, just like his eyes. I knew it was him, watching over us. That's Daddy. Daddy turned into a star. He watches over us from the sky. Starla's eyes went wide. She yelled up at the golden star as loud as she could.
Daddy, Mommy, and I are right here! Come down!
The star twinkled. My eyes burned, whispered up at it. I'll wait, however long it takes. 5 years passed. Starla was 5 years old, as beautiful as I'd been at her age, but with her father's quiet, stubborn spirit. She looked up at that golden star every single day.
Mommy, why won't Daddy come down yet?
Because he hasn't finished turning back into a person.
When will he be done?
Soon. I didn't know how soon was, but I never gave up. Every morning I picked flowers and left them by the door. Every night I talked to the star, told him about our day. One night, Stara shot straight up in bed, her eyes wide.
Mommy! Daddy's home! He's right by the door!
Her voice was sure, like she could really see him. I ran to the door and wrenched it open. Nothing there. Just wind, star blossom, moonlight. I sank to my knees and cried. I'd waited so long.
But Daddy is here! Look, he's standing right there!
I looked up. Standing in the doorway was a golden figure, faint and translucent. His face was blurry, but his eyes, bright gold, were fixed on me.
Elwyn, I'm back.
I heard it. Not with my ears, but in the wind, in my bones. Just 2 words, but they broke my heart and put it back together again. From that day on, Liam's ghostly form appeared at the door every night. He couldn't speak, couldn't touch anything. He just stood there watching us. But he was growing stronger, clearer every day.
After a month, his hands were no longer see-through. After 2 months, I could make out his face. After 3 months, he could step inside the cottage. Starla ran to throw her arms around his legs, but she passed right through and fell to the floor.
Daddy, why can't I touch you?
Because Daddy isn't all the way back yet.
Starla sat by the door every day waiting. I waited too. No rushing, no crying. I just set an extra place at dinner every night. I knew that one day it would be used. Exactly 1 year later, on Starla's 6th birthday, I ran to the door and froze. A man stood there, not a ghost, real, solid, alive. His eyes were gold, but the moment he saw me, they faded back to pale blue-gray. I stood frozen in the doorway. I'd waited 5 years, dreamed 5 years, prayed 5 years for this. But now he was here. I didn't dare move, afraid it was a dream, that if I stepped closer he'd vanish.
Starla ran and threw her arms around his legs. This time, she didn't pass through.
Daddy, you're real! You're really real!
He knelt and picked her up, pressing his face into her hair.
Starla, you've grown so big.
Daddy, where were you? Mommy cries a lot, but she tells me not to tell you.
You've been crying?
No, it's just the wind. He smiled. He walked toward me slow, until he was standing right in front of me. I reached out and touched his cheek. Warm.
He pulled me into his arms. I cried, the kind you hold in 5 years until you finally can't anymore. Starly squeezed between us, yelling for a hug too. The 3 of us held each other tight. Moonlight fell around us.
After Liam came back, life settled into quiet peace. Starla turned 7 and started learning archery. Liam taught her, and I watched from the side. Father and daughter had the exact same form.
Mother, how did you and Daddy meet?
Your daddy and I were forced to marry each other. Back then, Daddy was the useless second son. Mommy didn't think much of him.
Daddy was useless? Then maybe people should be mean to Mommy more?
Starla, don't be silly.
She stuck out her tongue and ran off.
What were you telling our daughter?
That you used to be useless.
And were you wrong?
I was a princess.
Well then, Your Highness, do you still think I'm useless?
You're not useless. You're my war god.
His eyes were older now, crinkled at the corners, a few strands of gray in his hair, but they still shone just as bright. When Starla was 10, a new threat rose across the continent. Not the abyssal demon, but Kron's kings, wordless wars, innocent people of demons, but human greed.
Liam called together his old guard. Not to fight, to negotiate. He traveled to every kingdom across the land with Starla and me.
I am Ares, the god of war. End your wars, or I will end them for you. Everywhere he went, he said only that. No one dared defy him. The wars ended, not out of fear, but because people finally understood the war god didn't want to fight. He wanted peace. For the first time in centuries, the whole continent knew true peace.
Elwyn, do you think it's time we had a proper home? Not just the cottage, but a real home. With a yard, Elwyn, his voice soft with hope, spoke of a future where they could build a real home, filled with laughter and the pitter-pap of little feet.
Then let's build it. Together.
After 10,000 years of fighting, of losing, of waiting, we finally got to build our life. Together.
Many years later, a stone house stood in the starwood forest. Not big, but warm. The yard was full of star blossom, with a great oak tree and a swing hanging from its branches.
Starla grew up and married a young elven warrior. They had a daughter of their own, named Stella. I grew old. Liam grew old too. My hair turned white, his back bent.
But every evening, we walked through the forest hand in hand. Do you remember the day you awakened? You were so handsome that day. Golden eyes, golden sword.
He laughed, loud, full-bellied laughter startling birds from the trees. You're just figuring that out now?
I used to think you were useless. Now you're an old, useless man.
Grandma, your hair is so white.
Grandma's old, sweet pea.
What does old mean?
It means I've been with your grandpa for a very, very long time.
The sunset painted the forest gold. Star blossom began to glow, one by one, like stars fallen to earth. I leaned my head on Liam's shoulder and closed my eyes. This was the happiest ending of all. After 10,000 years, we were home.